wanted to help people help themselves.
The greatness of a man is the greatness of his vision.
He's really humble.
Is a person who loves the poor.
I am proud of my heritage as a Chinese Filipino. And thankfully, for younger generations of Chinoys like me, this Kaisa Heritage Center in Intramuros is a must-go destination to learn more about our history. This would not have been possible, though, without the generous help of a man known as the King of Philanthropy, Mr. Angelo King, once cited by Forbes magazine as one of the heroes of philanthropy in the Asia-Pacific region. His profile really inspired me, and as part of the next Chinese-Filipino generation who's trying to make a lasting legacy in this society, I am very curious to know about this great man through the words of the people who are lucky enough to get close to him. Hi, Auntie! Chua?
Hi, Alexis! Di ho po?
Okay naman.
Thanks for coming
Hello.
by. Welcome to Bahay Chinoy and the Kaisa Angelo King Heritage Center.
Thank you, Auntie. It's always been a pleasure to come here, but now I have a different purpose. I wish to know about the man who helped you build this beautiful Kaisa Heritage Center, Angelo King himself. So, Auntie, how did you meet si Mr. Angelo King?
Nanonood kasi kami ng isang cultural performance
Okay.
of children. Invited pala siya. Apparently, isa yun sa mga uniqueness ni Angelo King na you don't approach him for help. He really seeks you out. And I said, come and see me one time. He said, let's talk some more when the performance started. So, that's how, I mean, it's just a serendipitous meeting.
Ay, Auntie, that's you!
Kita mo, batang-bata pa ako. Isa yan sa mga malaking projects na tinulungan niya, yung SET, Skills and Entrepreneurship Training sa public schools. Yun nga lagi niyan sinasabi kasi, you give a man a fish, he eats for one day. You teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Kaya livelihood projects, hindi lang sa kaisa, kundi sa ibang grupo talaga. Tinutulungan niya, farmers, fishermen, ganon. Sinabi ko, kasi wala naman kaming resources, wala naman kaming funding. Tapos sabi niya, why don't you put up the center itself? Give me a proposal. Everything else is history. So in advance niya talaga. Without him, there's no center like this.
Wow, so talaga thank you. He is the pride of the Chinese Filipinos talaga.
You should also go to his family and talk to his staff to know him, how this humble person really made the difference in many people's lives.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexis.
Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. There are very few stories published or shown about the life of Angelo King. Despite his massive portfolio when it comes to his business and philanthropy, he has chosen to live a simple life away from the spotlight and instead focused on his work. But his story is worth knowing to inspire us to become successful in our chosen path and become a blessing to others. Hi, Miss Chini.
Hi!
Lovely place.
Yes, this is my lolo's house.
Can you share with us your most memorable experience with him, like the happy time?
I really remember him as very casual. A lot of people have really stories about him being very strict, disciplinarian, but I really remember him to be very warm, really.
How was he as a father?
That's very disciplinarian. It's very strict.
He's a kind of lolo who's very concerned about how you grow as a person, and he's very concerned about your development and what kind of mark that you're able to leave in the world.
Growing up, he was a very strong presence in my life. We were all required to see him. We were treated like potential future leaders.
He is a responsible father, but when we were growing up, he was so busy. But he made up for it in his latter years. So we would have walks together regularly. Every week we would walk and talk. And we would have family breakfasts together even we were grown already.
Yung kamiting po niya lagi yung staff niya dito. Yung pinag-uusapan lagi yung pagkain niya, yung mga schedule niya. Ito yung mga schedule.
Ito yung
Ay, ang galing, lahat naka-detailed.
Tapos, meron pa siyang mga task list para sa mga ginagawa niya sa araw-araw. Bawat isang mga may assignment sa kanya, dito niya nilalagay, may kanya-kanyang clip. Ito ang parang kanyang memory.
Living with him every morning with like a jog early in the morning, and he'd always, always reminds us what we should be doing and how we are.
He's strict in handling business. He's very smart, very intelligent. He has these very, very bright ideas.
One of the things that one of his traits is that he always wants to be challenged.
I learned a lot from him about being hyper-organized. The message would be, you cannot manage what you cannot measure. So if you want to manage something, you have to be able to measure it.
He was just a simple worker. Even if he had no reward for the things that he did, he loved doing them. And he just minded his own business. He wasn't about really doing a lot of flash to a lot of people.
I would always remember Dad as a very simple man. Even though he's very successful, he's still very generous and very loving to the poor people.
What values or traits do you want your kids to inherit from him?
To be hardworking, to be generous, and family-oriented.
One of the biggest things that I took home is discipline. Discipline in eating, discipline in exercise, discipline in working, hard work, attention to details.
Very OC?
Very OC, super OC.
But it's not all serious work for Dr. Angelo King. He also knows how to have some fun. After all, as the popular proverb goes, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Grabe, napakasimple po talaga ng boss nyo. So, nakikisali pa sa inyo kapag may dance practice, saka dapat mag-perform. Napaka-humble. There is also one thing that made Angelo King truly happy. It is the fulfillment he gets from helping others.
He started by offering me 15 million pesos. Yes. But I told him, I cannot accept from my foundations because my foundations are, we don't accept money from other foundations. But if he wanted, I would start a foundation for him. And that's how the bahay na Angelo King started.
What do you think is your common drive or motivation to help others?
What is it? Because he told me he come with nothing, he goes with nothing. And there was so much opportunity that time because at that time, during 1985, when Mother Teresa came, we were doing something, work with GJC on Mother Teresa. So I add up more project with Mother Teresa, build the missionary charity in Dagupan.
Lagi niya sinasabi na it's really because galing siya sa hirap din. He experienced poverty during when he was young.
His fervent desire to help others almost covers every aspect of society. especially on sustainable projects that will leave a lasting legacy.
I think our collaboration revealed another person of Mr. King. I felt in him a heart that really was so eager to connect with the poor. I felt that hunger in him, so much thirst, so much desire, a fire desire in him. And maybe he saw in me a potential of realizing his prayer.
He is very compassionate. He likes to see if the project will be beneficiaries to the community.
Angelo King is a big man with a big vision, and he saw also that the vision of Gawad Kalinga to help end poverty in the Philippines matched his own vision also. No? And so I guess today, if we want to really talk about Angelo King and his relationship with Gawad Kalinga, it's about, you know, greatness. No? There's a great man, and we have an organization with a great vision for the country to help end poverty, and the meeting of the two somehow transformed the lives of so many people.
Wow. So how is he as a benefactor?
Angelo was very kind, he was humble, and his generosity was a silent, smiling type. You know,
Okay.
he did not broadcast to the whole world, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He did these things quietly.
There are so many rich people in the country, but they do not have any idea how to make use of their money. And Angelo King, I'm happy to say, saw this need for coastal resources people to take advantage of what he could give as endowment fund for purposes of improving fisheries and conserving coral reefs.
He is such a model philanthropist that we always have to look up to. He said, you know, when I give additional wealth to my children, the happiness may be not that significant. But when I give a big amount to an institution that would help the less fortunate members of our society, the smile and the happiness that radiates from the face of these beneficiaries are the one that makes me so happy.
One word that best describes Sir Angelo King.
Matipid. Pero galante sa fama, pagtulong sa mahirap.
When Mr. King faces God, hindi tatanong ng Diyos o ano na yung mga business mo, investment mo. Itatanong lang niya yung ano yung ginawa mo.
At ang dami niya pong nagawa.
And that will give him a license to look at God eyes to eyes and face to face.
He always had a heart of giving back to the poor. And he wanted to help people help themselves. So he is very definite about how he should do his philanthropy.
My journey into the life of Dr. Angelo King taught me a lot about hard work and kindness. And greatness will not be measured by the material things that we have accumulated, but with the happiness and legacy that we will leave behind. May his story inspire us all.